Guess what? You're gonna get ready with me and it's gonna be a chit chat. Get ready with me. Let's hang out and get ready. To an event tonight. The event is with Elf Cosmetics and we're gonna see the premiere of Mean Girls. Nothing can beat the OG, right? At least that's how I feel. I'll never forget when one of my really good friends now, she was just like my coworker back then when I started my job working at a hotel, and her and the other girl were already friends and they like worked there, so it'd be us three together, and they like asked, or they said a line from Mean Girls and I didn't know it was from Mean Girls, and it's like one of the most famous lines, but I'm just not a mean girl stan like that. And if you guys know, the deal with my phone right now is the storage. I'm not a very patient person. Like I am, but I'm not when it comes to like tasks, getting things done. I want instant, you know, I want immediate results, and everything is basically telling me like I need to leave my phone on for like 4 nights and transfer all this shit, and I'm just like, we don't have time for this. Especially because like with my content, I'm really trying to branch out this year and be more consistent, posting other things besides makeup. So like my vlogs and stuff, like I told myself I would do 1 vlog a week, but my phone running out of storage and like me having to wait, I feel like it's gonna kind of like push that back. And this shit is a muscle. I talk about it all the time. What am I doing you guys in? It's a muscle to do content, like new types of content, or just anything new, you know, is a muscle. So I'm just like, oh my god, this is really getting in the way right now. I finally remembered to use this freaking brow gel before I do my makeup. I have been missing my brows using this. This is the Anastasia new brow freeze gel, and everyone's going crazy for it for good reason. I want to say it's like the best brow gel on the market right now. It is better to do it before you do like your makeup. Oh, I love it, I love it. Ah, I forgot to brush the brows down. I would do this with the brush, but I don't want to use more product, so I'm just gonna use a different spoolie. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my phone. One of my thoughts is to just get a new phone. I normally am not the type of person that like gets the newest phone. I really don't care about that. Like if it works, it works. But for content, you know, I should be a little more like, oh, what's new and what's good and what's better, you know? What's gonna make me better? What's gonna make my content better? And maybe a new phone is the solution to that. I'm on an 11 right now, so I'm pretty far behind, but like the phone still works. So if I wasn't having this dilemma, I wouldn't be thinking about getting a new phone. Whenever I do my makeup and I just want to chill, I like to just do like my feel-good makeup. And I just cleaned my brushes. Oh my god, I cleaned my brushes. Wow. I'm trying painting my nails this week, but let me tell you why. Okay, so I don't know what happened, but the last time I had press-on nails, I really actually loved the design that I had. They came off like after we got home from our 2nd December trip back to the Bay, and I took them off, and then I was just lazy to do a new set because I'm kind of running out of the press-ons, the plain ones that I get from Amazon. I had like the French manicure ones, but I didn't really want those for New Year's, and I was just running out of time. So I was like, when I took off my press-on nails that last time, I was like, oh, my nails are kind of long. Like I have small nails, you guys. Like I don't know if you can tell. Like this is long for me, and look how small they are. Like I have really small nail beds. So this is actually really long. This is pre-New Year, so the week before, a couple days before. So 3 weeks worth of like growth, I guess you could say. Because every time I had press-on nails, my nails underneath were pretty short. And yeah, they look pretty good. I'm gonna use my House Labs. Duh. I have a lot of like Essie nail polishes that they sent me, and I've been loving a dark nail. I still get so shocked when I start liking things that I used to think I would never like. Like I loved French manicure with like designs. That was my jam for a while, ever since I started like liking having my nails done. Ever since that became like part of my personality. But lately I've been liking the short nail with like the dark color. So I've been using the Essie nail polishes and my nails are so dry. So like the whole entire nail polish will peel off, luckily in like one big chunk, but it's just been coming off. And I am a ex nail biter. Does anyone else bite their nails or used to bite their nails? Sometimes whenever I say that, I feel like I'm the only one. Like I was the only person that I knew, but it makes sense now, like with my anxious like tendencies, or like I always bring it back to this, but with my Virgo like restless mind, overthinking brain, it makes sense that I would like bite my nails. It just does. I'm gonna use the Merit bronzer. If you hear something crackling in the back, I have the candle going, and it's the Threshold brand from Target, which I really like. I talked about it in the last vlog, but I really like that one, and I like how it has the fire crackling sound. It's just like so cozy. So if you hear crackling, that's what it is. It's the candle. It has been so cold in LA. Like, I am being such a little about it because I don't, oh my god, like it's cold. And I don't remember if I told you guys, but we kept having like this smell of gas in our apartment. They came before, they didn't really fix it, and they said if you smell gas, it's actually better to just call the gas company. But we smelled it again, and I didn't call the gas company, I called them. Or I left the maintenance like thing on our portal. And so he came. It was a different guy this time. We've had him before for something else, but he basically said there was something in our like heater in the kitchen area. So he said he turned it off, but he's like, if I turn the switch off, he's like, you're not going to be able to turn your heater on. Because at the time it was like the beginning of winter. It wasn't even winter yet, like it's still just officially started winter, but it was getting colder. And so he's like, do you use your heater? And we were like, no, we're pretty frugal when it comes to like the heat and stuff, so we don't use our heater ever. We don't have AC. So he asked if we use it, and I was like, no. It was like, we don't turn it on, we've never turned it on, and we don't plan on turning it on. So he was like, okay. And he's like, I'm gonna do this fix, but he's like, if I do this, he's like, you can't turn on the heat, like you won't be able to use your heater in the future. And I was like, okay, that's fine, we don't use it anyways. And he's like, okay, make sure you call me and let me know if you do want to use it, because like I'm gonna have to come back. So he must have like turned a valve off or something, but since then we haven't had the smell of gas, which is nice, because I would always get scared. Like I feel like that's scary to smell gas. I don't know what it is, he didn't tell me exactly what it was, so whatever. Oh, you know what, I have a new Rare Beauty blush. Should I try that? It's the shade Hope. This looks cute. I feel like a lot of people have actually recommended this shade. And oh, it's like a cutie little pink color. I really like pinkies for this time of year, for like winters. So, brush do I want to use? All my brushes are clean, so I'm like, okay, what brush do I really want to use for this? Oh yeah, so I've just been kind of growing out my nails since then. Sorry, I'm like hopping around. You guys know how it is. I'm always hopping around. My brain is just like a million miles per hour. But I've been growing out my nails since then, and I was using the Essie nail polish, but my nails were really dry. Like I don't know if it was because, I don't know, because I was wearing press-on nails and like the glue, you know, like it's not as bad on your nails as like Gel X or acrylics, I wouldn't think, but my nails have been kind of dry, and they were kind of weak, or like thin, I guess. They're kind of flimsy. So I was like, I'm just gonna give them a break, like a real break. And I've really been liking like the short nail look. I have this other nail polish that's like my trusty, dusty Ride or Die nail polish. I talked about it in the blog. the last vlog, and it's called Orly. I don't know how I discovered it, but I discovered it years ago, and I had that nail polish that I discovered for years. I feel like I got it at a Sally's beauty supply store. I don't know, but you can get it at Target. And I have been using that for years because one, it was the perfect nude, and two, they had like this treatment in the nail polish I noticed, because I felt like whenever I would use it, my nails would be like very thick and strong. And so when I went to go look for like another color at Target, or just like the brand in general, I noticed that all of their nail polishes come with like that treatment in it. And I do feel like it makes a really big difference on my nails. So I painted this week, earlier this week, I painted my nails with it. And then I wore, it just seemed kind of plain because I'm into like the darker nails, but the only colors I have from that brand is like the clear, like the base coat, and then nude colors, like a nude pink and a nude, like a nude color. So I was just like, oh, I'm not really into that right now. What am I gonna do? And I painted, so what I ended up doing was doing a black French tip on it, and I actually really like hated it. And if I don't like my nails, like I will take it off. So that's what happened, and that's why I had to repaint them. And they did come off again, but I felt like I used, for the black tips, I used the Essie nail polish. So I don't know if it's the Essie nail polish or what, but the tips came off like really quickly. So this time I used the Orly like on the nail bed again, but for the tips I found this OPI color, and it's kind of cool. I kind of like that it's like a nude French, like it's not French, but it's like a nudie French. I just needed something besides the clear, because if I see my nail tip growing, I'm gonna like be tempted to bite it. That's just like how a nail biter's brain works. It's so gross. I hate the habit, but that's my life. I'm gonna use some powder blush today. I kind of want to be a little more powdery today, like a little more matte. I've been going for the more dewy look, but it's kind of early. The event's at 6, so I want my makeup to last longer, so I'm going to use more powder. Have you ever had that happen where your brushes aren't dry yet and you put them in your makeup? It just messes everything up, and it messes the makeup up, and then it messes your actual makeup on your face up. Oh my god, this brush, I just like messed it up. Also, I keep putting blush on the front of my face, and I need to put it over here. This is the Juvia's Place Blush Duo, my favorite. Oh my gosh, last time I did a get ready with me, a 3-part get ready with me, I told you guys about that manifesting letter, and today is actually 111, and it's supposed to be like the best day to manifest and like set your intentions. So I'm actually gonna do that today, and so is Russ. I was like, today's the day, we have to do our letters, so we're both gonna do it. I was so nosy. I was like, who are you gonna address your letter to? Because I think it's better, like you can address it to like your future self, but I don't know, like there's something about the way you like write and like update someone if you're like writing to a friend, you know, at least for me. So I'm gonna continue with like that idea. And he told me he was like our really good friend back home. I was like, oh, I knew it was gonna be him. He said, I feel like he is the person that I would like be able to tell anything to. And I was like, oh, I love that. Oh yeah, I don't know when he's gonna do it because we're gonna be out. As soon as he gets home from work, we're going to the event. We're actually gonna be a little bit late because the event says it starts, oh my god, that was so much powder. I'm using the Hourglass one. The event says the screening is at 6, but then it was like, oh, but come half an hour early, or make sure to come half an hour early. I was like, why didn't you just say that the thing starts at freaking 5:30 then? Russ gets home at like 5:45. It's really close to us, but then we have to like order the Uber. Because I told them to meet us there, but they're giving us an Uber code, so the whole point is like we have a free ride. Because the parking at the Grove is expensive. Like it can turn into like $15 really quick, like 2 hours in, which it will be because we're watching a movie. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait for you, and we're just gonna have to be late because we're gonna take the lift. Even though we live so close. Oh wait, but then we can't go eat after. I just thought about that. We're probably gonna grab some food after. Oh well, we'll just come back home and then we'll go eat. That's exciting. At first when I got the email for this event, I kind of thought it was a scam. I don't know why. It just looked kind of weird. Like, it didn't look like it was actually from e.l.f. Cosmetics. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought that. I'm gonna use the Sephora brow pencil today because I keep telling myself, like, I don't know if I like this. I mean, I've used it, but I don't know. So I asked my friend if she got one because my friend Victoria, we always go to events together. She's part of the Ulta Beauty Collective. Oh my god, this is so good. This is so good. What the heck? I was tripping. I just needed to like use it and say it, like not just recall off of my memory. It didn't leave a lasting impression, I guess that's what it was. But now that I'm using it right now, I'm like, okay, wow, it's good. And I got the shade medium brown. But my friend Victoria, she's part of the Ulta Beauty Collective. So she got to go to a lot of events and she would always bring me as her +1. So a lot of the events that I go to are actually through her. And I feel bad because I asked her if she got this email from e.l.f. I thought maybe she would too. And she didn't. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask if I can bring a +1, but Russ is coming with me. Russ loves going to events. Like, she said her boyfriend doesn't like to go, or she doesn't really like to bring him because he doesn't really like enjoy that type of environment. But like, Russ is what I imagine everyone else is like, free shit, hell yeah. So he's like, when I asked him, I was like, oh, do you want to go with me? Because if not, I was gonna tell my friend Victoria to come with me. And he was like, hell yeah. He's like a kid in a candy shop. Dude, why is it so bright? Okay, there we go. But yeah, so he's just funny. He cracks me up. This is gonna be so corny right now, but I just love him so much. Like, that's my best friend. Isn't that so crazy? Like, that's my best friend. I just love him so much. And like, I feel like, damn, we haven't even like argued or anything in a really long time. And this past like year or so since we've been in LA, I feel like he's grown so much as a person, like emotionally and just so many ways. And he's such a good partner, and I'm just like, just really happy. Like, I just love him so much. And I'm so grateful for like our relationship. I feel like we have a really good relationship. And yeah, we've been doing really, really good lately. I mean, I feel like we're always doing good, but like, I just feel like really happy. Like, we're just really happy together. I don't know. It's so cute. I love that. Like, we just love doing life together. I love it so much. I'm just so lucky. Oh, moving on to the eyes, I want to play with this palette from Polite Society. I kind of picked it up on live this week. Didn't really get to play with it, so today I want to play with it a little bit more. I'm still gonna do like a neutral look. You know me, when I go out, I just want to wear neutral-ish makeup. So I'm gonna put some bronzer in my crease first, of course, but I'm not gonna do the Ciate London one because that one is really pigmented. So I'm gonna use my e.l.f. one today just to add a little bit of shape before I go in with any eyeshadow. This e.l.f. one is probably expired. Like, I can't recall the last time I bought this. Like, I know it's not the original one. I've had a few of these, but like, I don't even remember when I bought this one, to be honest. But health updates, I've been saying this, it's only week 2 officially of January 2024, but I've been saying this, like, this is my wellness year. Like, I started feeling this way already in 2023. I don't know, like, a lot of things, like, 2023 was such a good year. Like, it was a really good year overall. Like, I can't complain, but I will say, like, of course, like, not everything is gonna be good in life. Like, there's always gonna be the other side of good, you know? And I don't wanna necessarily say bad, but like, not everything is always going to be good. I mean, what would life be if it was always good? Like, you know, like, I always think of it this way, like, the hard times hard times make you appreciate the good times so much more. So like the good times would just be the good times, but if you have hard times and you get through things, like you just appreciate the little things and the good things so much more. And I think that's really beautiful. All right, I'm gonna use this. I really love the colors in this palette. Like, I like everything. The packaging is super cute too. It's not like a cheap palette at all. And it says be polite. So cute. I'm just gonna go in with that mid-tone brown color and just go right on top of the bronzer. So in 2023, I just like a lot of things came to my attention. Like the things that I struggled with in 2023 were the things that I really wanted to basically continue to improve on in 2024, because I like a lot of things came to light for me in 2023, and I believe the only way to fix things is to honestly like come face to face with things, and then, you know, obviously from there like you can start to work on them. So a lot of things came to light for me in 2023 health wise, like going to the hospital for anxiety and stress. Like battling that last year was actually really difficult because it was just a weird thing to go through, because like mentally and emotionally I didn't feel stressed out, but my body was definitely signaling that it was stressed out. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the darker brown. I'm kind of scared because it's like there's a big like jump there, but yeah, it was a lot dealing with that. And then also like physically, oh my gosh, you guys, 30s is no joke, and it's honestly making me wish I started doing things a little bit sooner, like in my 20s. But here I am to tell you guys, if you're still in your 20s, or like, you know, like obviously we know this, like we're not going to be young forever, but that shit like really just hit me last year hard, because like I feel really young, and like everyone says I seem really young, but your girl's body was saying otherwise last year. Like my knees were hurting. But I was talking to my friend back home, and she likes to run a lot. I think she just turned 30, so she said that her knees are starting to hurt too. So at least I didn't feel alone. Like I started thinking like, oh my god, is this hereditary? Because like my dad's had a knee replacement, and I'm like, I am not trying to do all of that. Because my mom, on the other hand, like my dad's family does have a lot of like health issues, but my mom on the other side and her mom are extremely healthy and very health conscious, which makes sense because all three of us, my mom, my grandma, and I, are all Virgos, and Virgos are very earth conscious. I mean, earth. Health conscious. Like that's, if you're an earth sign, you're very health conscious, because we're very like grounded people in our bodies. So I mean, I've always had that, and I've always been pretty like balanced, but obviously I'm both parents, so it's funny because when I hang out with my parents, my mom likes to do healthy options and like whatever, and then my dad loves to like snack all day and dessert and eat whatever, but my mom's always like balance, balance, balance. So I definitely see both sides in me. So I just was like, I need to make some changes this year, and I'm so proud of myself because I mentioned on one of my TikToks that I wanted to lose weight, and I'm not really sure that still stands true, and I'm okay with that. Like I was scared to like say it and be vulnerable, but here I am saying like, I don't know if that's what I want anymore. Like of course I want to lose weight, but I just want to be healthy, honestly. Like this is the root of what I want, is I just want to be healthy, and I want to feel good in my body, and not feel good like look good, feel good, like actually feel good. Because I had too many stints last year where I did not feel good, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that again, you know? And I need to do whatever I need to do now, because my body is only going to get older, and I need to take care of it the best that I can. I just want to be healthy. I just want to be balanced and just be more conscious make healthy decisions. But I think you guys, sometimes I worry that like I'm like, oh, I want to be healthy, and then you guys see like us eating out and stuff and like fear of judgment. But like I know that we're healthy like 80% of the time, I would say, because you know it's funny, Russ has this coworker and he always tells me about like what she has for lunch and dinner, and like everyone at his work says he's so healthy. They're like, oh, what do you have for lunch this week? Like, wow, you eat the same thing. Because like all of his coworkers, they go out to eat every single day, or they go to the gas station and they get snacks, and me and him are just like, me and him are fatties at heart, and we're just like, dude, why can't we do that? Like we every day, like he'll tell me what his coworker had for lunch. He's like, dude, she went to this place and like, and she told me she had this for dinner, and we're like, damn, like I get it though, like I get it, but like I don't, because your body is your temple. Like obviously I'm not gonna push that on anybody, but I don't know how people live like this. Like I just being a little uncomfortable last year was like a really big wake-up call for me, and I'm just like, I don't get how people can do it. They must just not feel uncomfortable, you know, or like they're okay with their lifestyle. But for me, my body was like, hello. I thought maybe for my knees, like losing weight would be a good idea. That's also why I kind of like put that idea out there, was like maybe I need to lose weight. But I'm thinking like maybe I just need to get new shoes. So I'm just really proud of myself, because before I would just always make, I feel like I would have these goals and things that I wanted to achieve, but I would always overwhelm myself. Something I learn more and more every year is how hard change is for everybody. Like we don't want to change. We're so comfortable, and it's so hard to change. And that's why things get overwhelming so easily for us, because we have all these big goals and like these things we want to change, but it's just, we have to take baby steps. And I finally feel like I'm at a point in my life where I really understand that, and I'm able to really implement that. Like it's like, and before, like I can create a system, I can do a routine and habits, but what happens is I always get kind of like obsessed with following the new routine, and then get really upset with myself if I don't follow it. And that was like, that used to be my really unhealthy, toxic cycle of trying to like be the best and be healthy. It's basically like a form of perfectionism when it comes to like my health and my goals. And I just feel like, me personally, like, you know how I said Russ grew so much this year? I feel like I grew a lot in that sense, where like I can see that now, and I'm able to just handle that so much better and make realistic goals. And I before would want 100%, and if I didn't do 100%, like I automatically would just get upset, feel guilty, and give up. And that would just always be the loop. That would always be the cycle for me. But now I'm just like, the goal is 100%, but we're gonna be okay with 70 to 80%. And we're just gonna progress every single week and push ourselves as like a challenge, not to like be perfect, but we're doing this because we just want to be better every week. Everybody is so different, and it's so important when you are trying to be healthy or do anything in life, is like, you really have to do it for yourself. Like you can't just go off of what everyone else is saying that works for them. And that's why I see my own life as like, every little thing I do is just an experiment, and that takes so much pressure off of like being right or being perfect. I'm just experimenting. Like I'm just experimenting and seeing what works the best, and whatever does work the best, I'm going with it. And I love that so much. It's brought me so much peace doing that. Time and time again, this is another lesson that I always have to learn for myself, is whenever I get in those funks, like I was in a funk last year for my birthday and for New Year's, is I always talk about this on live, like we already talked about, like I need to let myself feel it. But the one thing that happens every single time is I get out of my routine. my routine is what keeps me healthy. It keeps me sharp. It keeps me feeling good, like mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Like it is everything. And I really do feel my best when I do it. So I'm not doing it to like just do it. I'm doing it because it actually feels really, really good for me to do it. I got a new planner for this year, which I showed you guys. Anything I talk about in here that I can link, I'll link for you guys. But I got a planner and I've been through, like I said, so I've experimented through so many things. So like I really do try to hone in on what works best for me by experimenting with different things. Because if you never try, you'll never know. And if you try one person's way and it doesn't work and you just give up, like you gotta try harder, you know? But I've been through this so many times where I have a planner and then I use it and then I don't. Like last year, I didn't start using my actual physical planner until like 6 months into the year. But it just reminded me of how much I actually like having that physical planner and physically writing my day out. It's so crucial for me to do that. I'm gonna use my Anastasia lip liners in Deep Taupe and Cool Brown. I feel like there's always some like aggravating noise outside. Why? Also, this is Russ's sweatshirt. I noticed the tag is on it. He hasn't even worn it yet, and here I am wearing it. He can't have anything. I will steal everything. Oh my gosh, I should have worn the e.l.f. blushes for the e.l.f. event. I totally forgot like where I was going. Oops. All right, I'm gonna wear the Anastasia Lip Velvet in the shade Crush. I saw online that there's so much mixed reviews on this. I want to do my review, but my phone keeps running out of freaking storage. I love these. I love them. They're not transfer proof. We've already discussed that, but like, so cute. It's been a while since I've worn like eyelashes. I don't know if I'm ready for all that. That's gonna feel like a whole other identity. So when I first started doing my morning routine, if you guys have heard the story a million times. Oh my god, this looks weird. I'm not used to it. So when I was like first building my morning routine, like when I give you guys tips about morning routine and like productivity and all this, it's because it really comes from a place of like, I did this shit. Like I really feel like I built myself from the ground up to get to where I am today. And that's why like I always try to give like advice for anyone who's listening, because like I can really say that like I really turned my life around and like I'm a completely different person from 5 years ago. All that being said, I started implementing the habits that I was kind of like reading about. I would kind of do like one thing at a time. Like it took me a while to just like kind of build the routine basically, because like I was saying earlier, change is so hard for us and we resist it so much because it's new. It's just new and we're just like, hold on, what the hell? It's just like, imagine like teenager you just chilling and then like your mom comes home and tells you to like do a million things. I feel like that's how our brain and like body react to doing new things for ourselves. OMG, really? You know what I mean though? You know that feeling? Like I can remember being a teenager and hate being told like what to do, even though it was like probably good for me. Hated it. It just disrupted my life, what I was doing. This thing is acting like an absolute wonka. I don't even know, like that didn't even do anything. But when I was like building those habits, I just kind of took it like one at a time until something became a habit, and that is known as habit stacking. I learned, you know what's cool is like I would do a lot of things and then later I would listen to a book, read a book and be like, oh my god, that's what I did. It's almost just like my higher self like led me through things. Like it's just so crazy reading it in a book, like do this and then do this and then do this, and I'm just like, that is so crazy, because that's exactly what my journey felt like that's exactly what I did. And the book I'm reading now, oh my god, it is so good. I'm gonna have to listen to it again. I realized today, so you know how my brain is always like on 1,000? I've been listening to the book. It's a 5-hour listen, but you know, like I'm going for a morning walk for an hour a day. So I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be done with the book in this week, like in 1 week. And I really didn't want it to end. So typically I listen to podcasts like 1.5, but for the audiobook I was like, oh, I'm just gonna listen to it on 1 and really try to like digest it. But I caught myself being really distracted while listening to it, and then I kind of came to the conclusion today that basically I needed to listen to it at 1.5 because it was just too slow for me to like process. Isn't that crazy? So I was listening at 1.5 today and I felt much better. I don't know, that's just how my brain operates. If it's too slow, I'm like easily kind of distracted or not focusing. But if it can keep up with my brain, like I can listen and pay attention. But the book is so good. It's one of those books again where I'm just like, wow, like these are a lot of the conclusions or like advice that the book gives is like things that I feel like I've been through and I learned, and I completely agree with all of like the steps and like the processes of our feelings and our mind and moving forward and focusing on the future, not the past, and just so much stuff. Okay, let me hop back into why I love the planner so much. Those habits, I started off as writing them in my planner, or first it was like a little to-do list thing, like paper that I had, and every morning I would just write like the things that I wanted to do, like meditate, work out, read, whatever. The glow up challenge pretty much that I have. I would write those things down and then I would just kind of like check them off if I did them or not. And that's basically a habit tracker, and that's why I also put a habit tracker in the glow up challenge, because I know how important it is to really keep track of each day that you do it, because with each passing day that you do it, it gets so much easier and it really does become a habit. Like these things are tried and true, like it didn't just come out of thin air. Like this is tried and true. Then I started upgrading to planners and writing out the schedule with the time, and then I would go through like times where I'm like, oh, I don't like the time, it's too, you know how I get kind of weird when things feel too like committed. So yeah, I started doing that with my morning routine when I was still trying to get into the habit of doing my morning routine. And then I would go through moments where I'm like, oh no, like I don't need that to remember, like I can just do it on my own, whatever. But a lot of times what happens to me is I get a little distracted, and if I don't have like a game plan or something to stick to, it's kind of like I can really just do whatever I want. And that's not necessarily like, it doesn't sound like a bad thing, but it kind of is, because it's not a good idea to work or do things based off of emotion only, because then I'm only gonna do what I want. And like obviously there's days where all I want to do is do nothing. Like I could have that type of day every day, but when I do that I feel really shitty and I don't feel good, and then I get like in that depressive mode. So having like the schedule and writing it down really helps me stick to it. And now I realize, like today, this week, I've been so good about writing in it, even last week, and just writing everything down, like what I need to do. And I don't finish everything, but I've been writing my morning routine step by step down, hour by hour. Wake up, water, morning walk, audiobook, workout or stretch, either or, meditate, affirmations, breakfast, shower. Like I write that down every single day the night before, and then I even write nighttime routine, cook dinner, lunchtime. And yesterday, Wednesday, I wrote down everything, even like film, edit, lunch, edit, like everything down to the T. But I didn't look at it all day, right? And then I would look at the clock and I would be like, oh my god, that's the time that I wrote yesterday in the book. Because I'm not very like strict, like at least I know what I'm doing. But even if I don't do it at that hour or get to it at that time, whatever, like I'm more go with the flow in that case. But then every time I looked at the planner, I was like, dude, I'm doing everything exactly as I planned. So it's almost like writing it down is basically like setting an intention for your subconscious. So the next day, the night before, I've already set that intention of what I'm gonna do at this time. And then my subconscious is sticking to that schedule and making sure that I'm doing all of those things that I set an intention to do the night before. Me remembering, doing it again, experiencing it, I'm just like, wow, like our minds, like we're so powerful. Like not just me, like when we just have so much power within us, and we're capable of so much more than we give ourselves credit to even try, to even do. Like we're so capable. And it's just like, it's mind-blowing to me, and I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. And it just reminds me why some people are successful, because they have that discipline to do these things. They have the routines, they have the habits. And that's why I always tell myself, like, I will be successful no matter what, because I do what successful people do. And I take it very serious. You guys know this. That's just me being back on my shit. Okay guys, I decided that I'm just gonna keep my hair like this, and I think I'm gonna wear this sweatshirt also. So this went from a 3-part get ready with me to just a 1-part get ready with me and hang out with me. So I will see you guys next time. I love you so much. Bye.